Chapter 2. Number 1. There are some students who want to study for classes alone and some other students who want to study in groups. Which method do you prefer and why?
Possible response. When you study, sometimes studying alone is quite efficient, while group study could be effective at other times. I have experienced both types of study. When you study with your friends, you do not get bored but sometimes waste time. For example, a friend goes off to drink a cup of coffee, to take a phone call, or to talk about something totally unrelated to the study, and you lose track of what you are studying. Of course, self-study may lack the experiences and knowledge your friends could share with you, but my study time is usually tight, and I can concentrate better when I am alone and can focus on the necessary areas of study. So I think studying alone is better suited to me when I prepare for an exam.
Number 2. Compare knowledge learned from books with knowledge gained from experience. Please explain which source is more important and why.
Possible response. There are several ways of learning knowledge, learning from experience and learning from books. Both are very essential, but personally I prefer the knowledge from experience. A student learns mathematical equations and other scientific knowledge and becomes a scientist or an engineer. Like this, in schools and colleges, we learn knowledge that is fundamental to our future career. However, we can't learn everything from books. The most important and sometimes the hardest lessons we learn in life come from our participation in situations. We learn how to get along with others or how to gain self-respect from our experience. Without knowledge from experience, it is impossible to get a real understanding of knowledge from books and how to apply this knowledge to real-world situations.
Number 3. Which do you think is better, studying in a university near your hometown or studying in a university far away from your home?
Possible response. Some students may not want to live far away from their home and still want to go to school close to their house, living together with their parents. However, I think it is better to study far away from home. In my country, Korea, most young people have never lived away from their parents. I think it is a good chance for them to learn about being responsible and independent. While living away from home, they have to take care of their meals, laundry, and be responsible for their studies. It can be a good time for young students to discover the world outside their home and family members and learn new ways to solve their problems in their lives. They may grow to appreciate their parents' hard work and sacrifices too.
Number 4. Some people like to go to live performances, while others like to watch performances on TV. Compare watching performances on TV to going to a live performance, and tell me which you prefer and why.
Possible response. Going to a live concert is very exciting. Some people dance and sing along with the performers. Sometimes you can even meet the performers and get an autograph after the show. However, for me, watching a performance at home is much more likable because it allows me to save time and money. First, I can record the concert on a VCR while watching it on TV. Then later, I can play it back and watch it anytime I want. I can also see the performers up close when I watch a concert on TV. If I go to a concert, I need to buy tickets, and sometimes I have to stand in a long line to get into the concert hall. Even sometimes I have to figure where to park. How about the seating arrangement? It can greatly affect the comfort of watching the show, and if your seat is far from the stage or people's heads and cheers distract you from viewing the show, you would think about the money for the ticket and probably miss your comfortable home. Well, I definitely love to watch a performance at home.
Number 5. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of building a large factory in your neighborhood. Do you support or oppose the factory? Explain your position.
Possible response. Some people would like to vote for such a plan of building a factory in my community simply on an economical ground that a large factory will make a prosperous future of the area. However, I am rather of the opposite opinion about the plan. My first and foremost reason for disagreeing lies in the virtually inevitable pollution that a large factory is bound to bring about. Once a factory enters my community, embarking on its continuous activities, even a tiny element of pollution will eventually cause serious damage to the environment of my community. So I don't want the new large factory to be built in my town.
Number 6. Which place would you prefer to live in, a small town or a big city? Compare the benefits of both places and choose one place you prefer. Use specific reasons and details to support your answer.
Possible response. I grew up in a small town and moved to a big city when I entered high school. Therefore, I have experienced the goods and the bads of both places. Living in a small town brings you quietness and peace, and you can feel more intimacy with people than you can feel in a big city. You can also live a soothing and comfortable life in a farm or live your own pastoral life doing your own work and job. On the other hand, people want to live a more convenient and comfortable life in a big city since we need more facilities and highly advanced technology to live a more convenient life, and of course, this is more predominant in a big city. Living in a metropolis means having more accesses to various people involved in all kinds of attractive cultures. Personally, I prefer to live in a big city because I can have more benefits in choosing a job after graduation, and I can expose myself to better chances living in a big city.
Number 7. Which do you prefer, eating at restaurants or eating at home? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer.
Possible response. Preparing a meal is not easy. Recently, dining culture has developed so much that it does not take as long to prepare a meal as in the past because the chore has been simplified. You can buy well-prepared materials at a supermarket. This type of progress has enabled savings in time, energy, and effort while preparing a meal. The biggest advantage is that more time is available to share with the family and for personal matters. Some say that the food you eat at restaurants is not clean and expensive, but my view is that the choice of a restaurant is up to the individual. One needs to study how to select the types of dishes that are not only good for the health, but tasty too. In addition, it is important to achieve nutritional balance using various dishes. Often we waste food when preparing our own menu items at home. So I want to eat my choice dishes at various restaurants and save time for other things.
Number 8. Some people believe that they can learn better by themselves than with a teacher. Others think that it is always better to have a teacher. Which do you prefer? Use specific reasons to develop your answer.
Possible response. Learning is a lifelong pursuit for everyone, and there are various ways to obtain their knowledge. Some prefer to learn on their own, and others may have an opposite view holding an idea of studying with a teacher all the time. These people believe that they can learn better this way. Personally, I prefer the latter. When I want to learn something complicated and hard to understand, I will learn and understand better and save my studying time when I have a teacher beside me. A teacher can play an important role and provide a better idea for students. Also, they act as a good leader to help us to find the right way. Good teachers do more than just teach. They teach students how to learn and how to utilize the obtained knowledge. In short, I prefer to go to a class and study with my teacher. Of course, I enjoy interaction with other students too.
Number 9. What do you want most in a friend? Someone who is intelligent, reliable, or someone with a sense of humor? Use reasons and specific examples to explain your choice.
Possible response. We all need friends. I think a friend is someone I can trust and share experiences with, especially in difficult and tough times. Sometimes we blame others rather than ourselves. One of the requirements of being a good friend is to cover your friend's faults. Of these conditions, I would choose a friend I can trust because I can become close to them and receive help from mutual trust in times of need. In that sense, I would choose a friend who I can trust. When I was in high school, a friend came to me and borrowed some money for an urgent need. She was not a close friend, but I lent the money and she is grateful for it even now. Needless to say, we have been good friends until now. Besides financial help, if you can be a help to your friend out of true friendship, then you will have made good friends. I would be so glad to have such a friend.